President Biden wants to give people $15,000 to buy their first home. So let's go over all of the details, the 15 grand his administration is offering, the story behind it, but most importantly, when all of this is actually going to happen, all in today's video. But really quickly though, I just wanted to say welcome back to all of my subscribers. My name is Pierre Meji, and I'm the only real estate mentor or coach that focuses on the apartment locating niche inside of the real estate industry. That's what I'm most known for, but I also give tips and tricks on everything that has to do with real estate. But most importantly though, all of my focus goes into teaching people how to earn 6 figures as a real estate agent by simply brokering everyday apartment rentals from home. All right, so let's get right into it. President Biden wants to give you 15 grand to pay for your first home. This is part of his plan for investing in our communities through housing. And this is what he said back when he was running for office in the first place. Basically, he wants families to buy their first homes and build wealth by creating a new refundable, advanceable tax credit of up to $15,000. But I want to highlight that this is advanceable, right? So what that means is that you'll receive the tax credit up front as soon as you make your home purchase. Right? Because with other tax credits, normally you'd have to wait for tax season the following year to get them. So this could be a dream come true for people that are renting and really having trouble saving all of that cash for a down payment on a house, right? Because rent prices are steadily increasing around the United States, if you haven't already noticed. And so with this down payment assistance, if it covers your down payment, you're going to spend the same amount monthly as if you were renting, except you're going to own a house, right? So it's a really, really big help with the biggest barrier to entry as a new home owner, right? Is getting through that down payment because it's a lot of money out of pocket. All right, because if you look at a really recent study, and actually several sources confirm this, they say that people renting save about 2.4% of their income each year, which really isn't a lot. But if you do the math, that means that at that rate, it would take those people about 14 years to save up for a down payment, assuming the down payment's around $15,000. And this math just has to do with the average yearly income for most Americans. So this tax credit could really help with all of that. In fact, the tax credit would cover a borrower's entire down payment for a home that they would purchase in 40 out of the 50 largest U.S. metros. So just to name a few of these, right? In Pittsburgh, this would help over 40% of renter households to afford a median mortgage. In Cincinnati, it would help 39.7%. In Cleveland, 39%. And in St. Louis, 38.5% would benefit. That's kind of a big deal, guys. You really think about that. And just a little bit of history here for you guys. The first time home buyer credit was launched in 2008, right after the Great Recession caused the housing market to plummet rapidly. Right, so that expired a decade ago because of the terms of legislation. Remember, this was back in the time of Barack Obama, where people wouldn't touch real estate with a 10-foot pole. And a lot of Americans just simply lost their homes due to bankruptcies and foreclosures. And I remember that time personally because back then I was actually a personal banker before transitioning into real estate and then teaching the topic like I do now, right? So I remember as a personal banker, my bank was like, we were doing a lot of check deposits and withdrawals for investors that were actually looking to go in and buy foreclosures. It was like a high activity during that time. So it was very, very clear in my memory, just seeing those transactions happen inside of a financial institution. All right, but if you fast forward more than a decade till today, you have a present situation which is totally different from the past. So if Obama's time is what most people would call a buyer's market, then Biden's time right now is what we would call a seller's market. And just sort of to kind of help you visualize the difference of a buyer and seller's market, right? Let's just pretend that my channel, I don't know, we started selling merch, right? Like a special limited time only merch t-shirt for this channel. And we only had like 100 t-shirts to sell, right? And if we just hyped it up and I spent all this effort sort of promoting the merch and the 100 limited time stock t-shirts, we could probably sell those t-shirts for a lot of money, like an inflated price point, right? because everyone would want one and there's only 100 units. That would be a seller's market for me. But if we flip this around, then you get a buyer's market, right? Like imagine the same situation, but the hype doesn't work and the promotions don't work because it's just a terrible t-shirt in the first place and no one wants one really. We'd be forced to adjust by lowering the price and lowering the price and lowering the price and just accepting whatever someone would want to pay for that t-shirt just so we could move the inventory, right? So that would be a buyer's market since the buyers are in control of that situation. I hope that helped paint a picture of what a buyer and a seller's market was. I know it's kind of a weird analogy and I don't even sell merch, but maybe I should start, right? So right now we're actually in a seller's market under Biden's administration. 2020 was a really crazy year for the real estate market because inventory was choked up all over. In December, the number of available homes like for sale plummeted by like 40% compared to December of 2019 where that didn't happen. So we lost a lot of inventory, right? So competition for buyers on what was even available in the market was very, very fierce. And it still is right now. And the average time to sell a house was like less than 66 days or something crazy, which was an average, faster average of about 2 weeks or 14 days from the year before. So clearly homes are being sold at a much faster pace. I'd also love to see what you guys are seeing homes get sold for in your local market. So definitely drop a comment below as well. I'm really interested in all that stuff. And I believe the reason this was happening is because sellers just weren't putting their homes on the market for sale due to what was happening in the world. And home builders just weren't building at such an insane rate anymore because the materials were actually more expensive. Interest rates are also at an all-time low right now, right? And you combine that with a pandemic-driven demand of buyers looking for larger suburban homes, and boom. That's the reason why house prices are getting inflated and like everything's ridiculously expensive right now. And in fact, all over the country, buyers are actually paying over the appraised value of the homes just so they can get their hands on something that's actually for sale. Right. And I believe that if you take what's happening in the market right now and you combine it with this Biden $15,000 tax credit right now, and what you'll see, what we're going to end up seeing is the housing market explode with sky high prices for property and first time home buyers actually having an issue getting their offers accepted. So personally, I think that's like a recipe for disaster, especially how the market is acting right now and behaving. It's so abnormal. So I don't really see Congress approving this tax credit anytime soon. And I think that if you're actually interested in purchasing a house, I recommend just chilling out, playing it cool, because sooner or later, I really do believe that we're going to see the housing market correct itself. With so much abnormal activity happening today, the prices are going to have to come down because they're so inflated. So I would actually hold off on buying right now, unless maybe you could get some kind of contract with a new home builder if there's any inventory and you can lock something down and you're okay waiting for a 10-month build. As long as there's no language in the contract that says that at any point in time they can adjust the purchase price, because that's actually going on with new home builders too, right? Isn't that crazy? Some new home builders, at least in my market and several other markets I work in, even with a new home builder, you lock down a contract and there's language in there that says that they can change the purchase price by a certain percentage as they see fit during your build, right? So this is just crazy market activity, very abnormal. I would probably recommend just holding off until the market corrects itself. But if you really need to buy, I feel like the only move really is to lock down something, you know, for like a new home build in the future, as long as the purchase price doesn't move around on you. But hey, I could be wrong, right? There might be several different variations of how this might play out. And maybe we will get the $15,000 tax credit in like a year or so after the market settles down. And at that point, when this $15,000 tax credit gets approved in the future, I think that's when we'll see all the criteria around it, you know, like what the home prices ought to be in order for you to receive the credit, the income levels, how many people in the household, etc. It'll probably end up being tiered like everything else is, but either way, I will let you guys know as soon as they release factual details. So if you don't want to miss that video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button so you will always be in the know. So whether you want to buy a home right now or in the future, there actually are other several down payment assistance programs that are actually confirmed. And I actually just released a video on the Bank of America down payment assistance program. That is right over there. That's what that thumbnail looks like. And that one is confirmed, and you can actually go to the website and apply. So don't miss that video because it breaks down if that could be an opportunity for you and how to move forward with it, all in that one video. And also, right, aside from just programs from corporations or laws that may or may not happen, each local government does have their own incentives to help their own local residents receive assistance, just standard through the local government. So you might want to check that out for yourself. Things have probably changed in your local government, and check out like other nonprofit organizations as well. If you guys want me to make a video on some of that stuff as well, drop me a comment and let me know, and then I'll research all that stuff for you and then make a video for you so it's even that much more effective. And I'll tell you what, if you guys actually drop a comment down below on what you want me to cover next, I will actually feature you in the next video and give you a shout out as well, because I do really appreciate your feedback. It helps me come up with video ideas, which will in turn help everyone else. So that's it for today for Biden's potential $15,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers and the story behind it. My name is Pierre Meji, and happy house hunting, and I'll see you on the next video.